Hola, hola, mi gente. It is another great day, and I am with another great person. Tonight, we are speaking with Doyin, the founder of the African Business Club. So, let me go ahead and just bring him on because I need you guys to hear the story of this phenomenal gentleman. Ladies and gentlemen, let's invite Doyin on. Hi, Doyin.
Hey, how you doing?
I am
Thank you so
wonderful.
much. Thank you for having me. It's a
I'm
pleasure.
so excited to have you
Same
on
here.
tonight.
Same here. Thank you.
I've been looking forward to this interview for quite some time. So, Diane, let's just get started with the nitty gritty. Tell the people who you are and what you do.
All right. So my name is Doyin Adebogun. I'm originally I'm Nigerian,
Mhm.
and I'm the she said I'm the founder of African Business Club. By profession, I'm a pharmacist,
Mhm.
but I started my journey in the finance world. I'm not like a finance expert because a lot of people actually think I'm a finance expert. I
Mhm.
am not, but I see myself more as like a connector of my
Mhm.
community, and we can get into that later. But pretty much what I do is just I try to know I started African Business Club as a way to normalize financial literacy and to promote collaboration and sharing of ideas among the African communities.
I love that. Now, Diane, I love how you so beautifully weaved in the mission statement of this club because I've been snooping, I've been prying, I've been ODing on your content on YouTube for quite some time now. And I love the fact that with every single class that you host, you guys share the mission and
Only
purpose
God,
of this
yes,
club. Now,
yes,
the interesting thing is that, like you just said, your goal is to normalize financial literacy and promote collaboration among Africans through networking, education, and sharing ideas.
yep.
Excellent. But here is my first question. That word normalize means that there is some aspect that is not normal in
Yes.
regards to these conversations surrounding financial literacy and entrepreneurship. Why is that the case?
So, growing up in Nigeria, and a lot of Africans, not just Nigerians, I'm sure can testify to this. There are two things you don't want to talk about on the dinner table with your parents. Number one is sex, and number two is money. So talking about money is not a common thing in our community, and a lot of us are Christians, and in the Bible, if I'm not honestly sure if it's in the Bible, but there's
Mhm.
a saying that money is the root of all evil.
Mhm.
And I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is actually what kind of like you know light me up and change my mindset. He actually said lack of money is the root of all evil. So
Mm.
the reason why I think we have to normalize it because we grew up not talking about money,
Mm.
and so that kind of make us behind in the money game, among Africans. What our parents focus on is education, which is not wrong,
Mhm.
but it's what they know.
Mhm.
Like we were talking earlier, for me, I have my pharmacy degree, spent 6 years pharmacy school, then spent 3.5, almost 4 years getting my MBA degree. That's like almost 10 years of education, which, I'm still in the rat race, with all that degree. So they focus on that, and we don't normalize talking about money, investment, entrepreneurship. Those are things. So that's the goal of this organization, to change that mindset and make it become something that's normal that we talk about on a dinner table while I'm having a conversation with my friends. Let's talk about investment. Let's talk about money, and let's do things that can help us bridge that gap, the wealth gap, because the wealth gap among Africans and other communities is really huge. So
Hmm.
yeah, it is huge.
I had no idea.
Yes.
So let's go to the very beginning. At what point did you recognize that this was not only your experience, but a cultural experience that you wanted to, I don't want to say support, but you wanted to help bridge the gap, that knowledge gap?
Right. So that's a good question. For me, my journey started in 2019. So I'm also new to this game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have this saying I tell everybody, late to the game is not a shame to the name. So I'm new to the money game. All I knew in it before that was just, get more degrees. Did
Mm-hmm.
pharmacy, did my MBA, And even before, after my MBA, I was already looking at, okay, what other degree or what other certificate can I get to climb the ladder in the corporate world, until, I started my journey, read the Rich Dad Poor Dad book. I also read this book, Think and Grow Rich. Those are my
Oh,
two favorite
yeah.
books. Yeah. And I think Think and Grow Rich is what helped me after I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I started to understand how money works.
Mm-hmm.
And to answer your question, I realized this is not just a problem with me, because I try to think like, why am I behind in this? Why don't I know about this? Then for me, I diagnose it as a cultural issue, which is, nobody ever talked to me about money.
Yeah.
You don't talk about money growing up. All your parents talk to you about is go to the school, get a degree, do this, which is not wrong. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I figure, then a lot of my friends, like most of them are in the healthcare field. I have a lot of doctors, nurses, CRNAs, engineers, because if you know anything about Nigerians, we love those big degrees.
Yes.
And I look around and I was like, okay, we are making this money, but then there's almost nothing to show for it. Like, yeah, we have nice houses, nice cars, but then what? Yeah, maybe some people will have like 100K in their savings account. And from what I know now, that's not even so necessarily a good thing to just have liquid cash just sitting. I'm not saying if you have 100K in your account, it's good, because you might. Before I can have 100K in my account, I'm just being personal right now. I want to first have $1 million of investment. Then I can have 100K liquid. But if you have 100K liquid just sitting there, that shows me you don't even understand how money works. And that's a problem I see in my community. And I say, you know what? I want to start my journey. Instead of me just learning this, keeping to myself. Because another thing in our community is we don't share information. And it's also a cultural thing. There's a lot of this is that, to me, my diagnosis is cultural. We don't share information because we think if I tell you what I'm doing, it will be bad luck. I know that sounds crazy, but we think that, so people, for example, people might be pregnant and they may never mention to you they're pregnant until it becomes obvious. But I've seen people in America, once they are pregnant, they announce it. Oh, we're having a baby. It's a beautiful thing. Why are you so scared to announce it? But it's all culture. We believe in bad luck, and we keep things among ourselves. And that's why I figured, my diagnosis is a cultural thing. And I want to hit that cultural issue and start making things aware and build and share my journey with people in my community. Let them know, look, it's okay to talk about this. They're Africans. So what I do is I do my Zoom sessions and I invite mainly Africans and just Black and brown people. So we can see that, look, a Black man, a Black woman can teach you crypto, and they sound and look just like you.
Yeah.
And so that's the goal, and that's what we try to do.
Ooh, Doyin. There's so much to be said about that. That is remarkable.
Thank you.
That is truly remarkable. And I'm going to repeat the same thing we spoke about earlier. It's remarkable on multiple levels. And I'm so happy to hear you doing this, because this is so necessary.
Right.
I was having a conversation with my sibling, my sister, and we were talking about you. And we're talking about
always good stuff.
Always good stuff. Always good stuff. And we were talking about how, like I said earlier, I wish my community, my Afro-Panamanian community, had something similar to this, because my culture and my community is so unique. It influences my perspective.
Yes.
On everything.
Yes.
On everything.
Yes.
So yes, I can read Susie Orman. Yes, I can listen to Robert Kiyosaki. Yes, I can hear Dave Ramsey Schmanzi. I'm not a fan of him too much. However, there's something to be said when I saw the Budgetnista for the first time.
Yeah.
Shout out, she's Nigerian too. But
I've been trying to like No, I want to
But
get her into our platform. I hope it
yeah,
happens.
she's phenomenal. But
Yes.
it is that, it is seeing someone who looks like you,
Mm-hmm.
who understands your experience. For me,
Yes.
when I saw her, I saw a woman who was also first generation American too.
Yes.
Okay. Understanding that the pressure of having parents who worked hard and sacrificed to come to this country and to make it
Mm-hmm.
here, and the pressure they put on their kids. Not
Yes.
not villainizing, but stating the obvious here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Stating the obvious. That pressure has an influence on how we pursue particular goals.
Yeah,
And in
it's
many
true.
ways, we end up, to a degree, living the lives that we are expected to live
Mm-hmm.
out of duty than
Yes.
purpose.
Right there. That right there. You hear that right there.
And it's interesting to see how that can bleed into our finances too.
Yes.
Like you just said, you pursued
That's it.
multiple degrees, which shall I say, congrats, because that takes a lot of work, time, and sacrifice.
Yeah.
However, it was that the best thing for you, you
Yeah.
know? But here is my follow-up question to this. All right. You just shared some aspects as to what are some cultural challenges that influence financial literacy within your community. When you got started building this platform, what was your first step?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. You have a lot of good questions.
Thank you.
No, that's a good question because it was a challenge. Because like I said, we on our culture don't share a lot of information, and collaboration is also a challenge culturally, and I'll be honest. And when the whole idea came to me, I spoke to my inner circle of friends,
Yeah.
and a lot of them straight up told me like, "You're wasting your time." Straight up, I'm not even kidding. Yeah,
Wow.
like it's not gonna work. And I understand why they say that because it's something that we don't really do. So people may not know, although there's been like for example, Earn Your Leisure, or Budgetnista, people
Mhm,
like that, that done similar stuff, but the culture is still there. It's still a cultural difference.
mhm,
Like you said, also with Panama, like that niche is still what makes it unique.
mhm,
So the first thing for me was trying to like just sell the idea to people. And initially, I thought, oh, if I tell 100 people, I'll get 100 people. But nah, the very first session we had, it was just like maybe like five of us. And I told a lot of people, but only five people just joined me. And I can tell you, even out of those five, maybe only two or three were just the other ones just want to like see what am I saying. And we talk about building credit,
yep,
credit scores. And that was the first one. So I think the first thing for me was more of like just selling the concept and the idea to people. And it was challenging because, people, and the funny thing is some people I told say, oh, I've always wanted to do this also, but
mm,
I just don't think it will work. And some people say, well, there are other people that have tried this and it just didn't work and they stopped after like 2 months. So, but for me, I'm like, no, what, even if I only get two people that are gonna on board with me, I'm just gonna go ahead and start, continue. And that's all I did.
so you started with your Zoom sessions, and what was, you say you were teaching how to build credit? What was it?
So, like I said, I'm not a finance expert. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
learning now. I'm learning, but
Okay.
I mean, I know a little bit about credit scores, but not as much. So and that's what I'm still doing is I'll reach out to someone that's an expert through Instagram or online, and I'll just pitch the idea to them like, hey, my name is Doyin. I'm, trying to normalize financial literacy
Mhm.
among my communities, and I would like for you to come and talk about it and teach people so we can build, this community. And a lot of people actually like it, surprisingly. And I would love to come and do this. We've had like big names like Chris Seneca has been on
Yeah.
our platform. Tosin Oduwole, the Truth Jones is this 14-year-old guy that does day trading. He's been on the platform too. So to be able to pitch to those people, and they, I was I think last month talking to Budgetnista
Mhm,
via email, and I'm trying to invite her to my conference. So
mhm.
people actually, I mean, it's opening up doors to me to reach
Yeah.
out to people I would never. like you, I don't think I'll ever get to talk to you if not for the platform.
Yes.
So that's why it's been very helpful. Yeah.
And oh, Doyen, there you said something that I don't want people to brush over. Okay, you said I'm not a financial expert. However, and I respect that. I respect that. You're a pharmacist by trade. financial literacy enthusiast. Is that safe to
Yeah.
say?
Oh, yeah. That sounds very good.
Enthusiast.
I
All
like
right.
that.
But it's also important to remember, because sometimes we can sell our values short because we're thinking
Mm,
we don't have a PhD in finance to be a
that's true.
financial expert. But you're an expert to anyone if you're 2 steps ahead of them.
That's true.
Just 2 steps. And what I appreciate about you, Doyen, is that you took those 2 steps that you knew and you said, I'm going to take this to the world running. I like that. And that is something that everyone should remember, because if you have something of value to share to the world or to a particular community, share it.
Right.
You do not have to wait until you know your entire alphabet to teach a child their ABCs. You can start with the first 5 letters.
I
You can
like
start with
that.
the first
I
five,
really like that.
because it's going to take time for them to learn the first 5 letters of the alphabet anyway.
That's true. That's so true. I love that. It's
And
funny.
that
I'm reading a book right now. It's called Click Millionaire, and he actually said something very similar to that.
is that
And
by Russell Brunson?
no, I think his name is Scott something. I don't remember the name. I just started reading it, but he did mention that that you don't have to be an expert. You just need to know a little bit more than the audience, and that makes you an expert. So actually, I need to remember that.
Yes. And also remember that sharing what you know brings immense value to anyone who is in need of the information.
That's true. Yes.
So, along those lines, as I said earlier, I've been snooping, I've been ODing on your content on YouTube.
Thank you.
And if there's one thing I have to note is, even though your passion and focus is financial literacy, you and your team has done a wonderful job of bringing a variety of topics
Mm,
to the community. I mean,
yes.
I've seen women's health, mental health, real estate, crypto. There's
Yeah.
just, you name it.
Economic empowerment. So I actually like that you said that. Me as a person, even before this finance thing,
Mhm.
personally, my passion is the growth of the African people. I'm actually very passionate. Um, the other day, one of my friends, he was teasing me, and he said, "Oh, there goes Mr. Save Africa." And but actually, I was so happy he called me that, and I was like, "Wow, I love that." And I need to change my name to that. He was like, "Dude," I was teasing him, like, "No, I like it. That's what I want to be known for."
Mm.
So I'm all about my people. I care for everybody in general, but I'm talking about Black Lives Matter. I'm deep into that. I'm deep into my people, the growth of my people. And when I say African, and I try to like let people know we're all Africans,
Mhm.
because someone did ask me that before and say, "Oh, why can't you change it to just, black business club?" I'm like, look, first of all, if you don't see yourself as African, then we have a whole different conversation to talk to you about. Harriet Tubman, I'm kind of going off topic, but one of my favorite quotes from her is she said, "I would have saved 1,000 more slaves if they knew they were slaves." So that's not and like she said, I would have
Right.
saved you, but my job is not to teach you that you're a slave.
Yes.
So my job is not to teach you that you're an African. So if you don't even identify with that, maybe we have other people that will be their job to
Yes.
teach that, but it's not my job. But once you identify as African, then we are. Then let's start doing things. So to answer your question, sorry to go off topic.
No, that was actually good.
So so I like to show anything that affect my community. I want to share light to it. So as
Mm.
we all know, health. It's not something also that like sorry, because that's my field. It's not something we talk about a lot also in our community, not just among Africans, even among just Black and brown people. So, we like to focus on that, not too much focus, but just, you know, this dedicate 1 or 2 sessions to that. We also do all that kind of stuff. Like we did one about side also.
Yes.
And that one we actually focus on what people call side hustle. The main difference between side hustle and working 3, 4 jobs. I let people know you can work 3, 4 jobs. That's not multiple stream of income. That's just you slaving yourself. So we try to, and the funny thing is, I felt guilty of that because I used to work my regular job. I work for Yale. I'm a supervisor, pharmacy supervisor at Yale. And also, I also do like a part-time job with CVS as a pharmacist. Then when we did that topic, I'm like, wow, like this is actually about me. Like I'm here, you know, doing 2 jobs and I didn't even have time. And then when I stopped my part-time job, I had more time to build different things. Like now I have like 2 investment properties. I'm in the process of actually acquiring a business, just because I now have the time to just do different things. And we have a conference coming up in Atlanta. I'm also planning that. So leaving that job gives me time now to focus on a lot of other things. So another thing we focus on is I don't know if you saw that, to like talk about Africa as a whole and let people know, like I will post different things about Africans and what we do up, like, so kind of like, I don't do that as much anymore, which I think I need to bring back. I call it Sunday school, and it will be, a speech about someone talking about, like an African, like actual African in the continent, and just do like different things like technology and just sharing life so people can see that the Africa you see is not all that bad. The Wakanda that we saw, that movie, that's Africa.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's why we do a variety of different things with a focus on financial literacy, but also just a variety of different things to build the community and let people understand what the community is, and hopefully that people would love to join us and we all build it together.
I just had a goosebump moment there. I did. I did. What you hunger for your community is something that is going to have such a strong ripple effect. Everything starts on the motherland and radiates outward.
Yeah, that's true.
I can go way long in that subject, but we don't have time for that. We don't have time for that.
That's true, because I told someone once, right? Like, for example, if you look at what's happening with, we might be going off topic. I just want to say this really quick because you made a good point.
Go for it. Go for it.
You made a good point, because if you look at what's happening, with Black people, us, in America or even in Europe, okay, for example, like if you look at Iraqi and people from Iraq or Afghanistan or even Chinese, Americans will not mess with, for example, when they're doing the all stop Asian aid trade, they passed that bill so quick because they have, if America doesn't do anything, very soon China is gonna rise and defend their people. If if they keep hating or doing bad things to Afghanistan, Afghanistan eventually would do something. I mean, it happened, 9/11. I'm not trying to bring all that stuff back, but for us Black people, there's really who's really gonna stand up for Black people. Like nobody. And that's why I think Africa needs to come. And that's why I say you made a good point. Everything starts from the motherland. We need to get it together. And the back end of that is Americans know that too. And that's why Africa is still under oppression, because they can't. Once we're able to get it together back home, then now when we can connect, like we need to know we are all the same. Like Black people, brown people, we're all the same, and need to connect together and know once we can connect. And I see a lot of like African Americans now going back home to invest. I love that. That's what we need to do. Invest there and let's build this. Let's build a motherland together. Then now we have a strong army. We have a strong, over there, LI over there. Now nobody's gonna mess with us. But right now they're messing with us because who's gonna come to fight for us? So yeah, so you're right. It all starts over there, and we need to bring it back.
You're getting a lot of love in the Instagram land over here. You're getting a lot of love. And Birdland, she said something too, which is so true. She was like, "We are waking up."
Yes, I love that. I love it. Like I see a lot of like African Americans going back home. I even see people are moving back home. I have 2 friends right now. They actually started with a business in Nigeria. Now they moved back in Nigeria, and she's making moves. She's African American lady in Detroit, from Detroit. Now she's there in Nigeria. She lives in Nigeria now, and she sends me a picture of her farm. She has like a farm that she's raising. So I'm very happy to see that. So yeah, definitely, I love that. I love it.
Mm. And if there's one thing, oh, Gia, don't lose your thought. All right, it's gone. It's going to come back to me. It's going to come back. But I do want to save this though. It came back. Thank you, Birdland. I think she helped me when she said we are waking up.
Yes.
I also think the timing of this is priceless.
Yes.
Because before we were fractured when it came to communication.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are sharing this very communication while I am here in DC. You are in Connecticut?
Yes.
Connecticut. And we have beautiful people here on Instagram watching from all around the world.
All over the place, yeah. Yeah.
Uniting together is easier than ever because we are now able to leverage technology.
Mm-hmm.
And now we don't have a middleman anymore. There used to be a middleman. Once upon a time, media was only propelled through one outlet. Now you can come on and say, I'm doing Sunday school because y'all need to know the truth about my homeland, about this beautiful continent. Don't listen to CNN. Don't listen to BBC. Listen to, what is it? ABC, the African Business Club?
Yes.
Listen to ABC. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen to that. That is powerful stuff. Now, I don't want to, we've made beautiful journeys. Do not apologize. Plus, everybody's watching is here for it. They're all here for it. They're all here for it. But I also want to lead this conversation towards entrepreneurship. Because when we spoke for the first time, you shared that entrepreneurship for some within the African diaspora is a challenge. And initially I was shocked. I was like, whenever I see my beautiful West African family or African family in general, they are killing it. Like I said, there's doctors, they're lawyers, they're architects, they're engineers, they're pharmacists. And then I stopped and I said, those are all jobs.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Yep.
Those are all jobs.
Yes.
So tell me, in a community that truly values education, and I love that. I love that. What challenges do our West African family or African family at large face when it comes to pursuing entrepreneurship?
Right. So, to be honest, I wouldn't say it's a challenge. We just don't even know. We just don't know, because a challenge is something and it's like, okay, you want to do something. You want to go to the gym, and to wake up at 5 a.m. is a challenge. But you want to go to the gym. But you don't even know that there's another way. What we know is get that degree. Like you said, if you go to any hospital, I can bet you 75 or 80% chance the chief of medicine in the hospital is a Nigerian or a Ghanaian. And it's what we know. There was this quote, I forgot who said it, it's from one of the books I was reading. She said, the problem with the rat race is even when you're done and when you win, you're still a rat. So you have this job, you're saving your 401k, your investment, you end up with like $2 million in your 401k at age 60, 65. Then what? So we don't know. So and that's the goal of this organization, to normalize it, to let people know. Because people have asked me like, oh, all you do is just talk about this, which is true. And I get a point that, okay, I'm talking about it, but what am I doing to, like, am I giving people jobs? People have asked me that. They give me jobs. Why are you just talking? I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm not yet. I would love to start giving people jobs. I'm buying businesses. I'm doing investment. But, at least let's start with the talking, the conversation.
Yeah.
Let's start there. And I think that's what, I don't think it's a challenge. We just don't even know. What we know is what I did is I went to college for 4 years, went to pharmacy school. Took me almost 6 years. Then I got my MBA degree, and a lot of people did that, went to med school, get, do MBA, do this, do that. Yeah, they're making money, they are rich, they live in mansions. But like I said, the problem with the rat race is, at the end of the day, you're still a rat. And so entrepreneurship is not something we like it's normalized in our community. And that's what
Mm,
I want to change. And hopefully we can build that and change it.
you're going to. I'm
Thank you.
confident. I'm getting, and I'm not gassing you up when I say that. And I'm going to tell you why you're going to. Because you were pushing the car. And what I mean by that is you may have already heard this story before, but it is true. When a person's car breaks down on the
Hmm.
side of the road, if they stand by their car, nobody slows down to help them. If they're standing
Mm.
idly by their car, no one stops. The moment the person with the broken down
Mm.
car attempts to push the car,
Wow. I like that.
people naturally come to assist.
I like that.
You started this platform by pushing the car.
Mm.
You took the initiative. You made the effort. You started the Zoom. And guess what? People came along.
That's true.
As you continue to develop and grow this community, more and more people are going to come because your initiative and your focus is pure. Who does
Mm-hmm.
not want to help and add value to their own community?
Right.
It's a no brainer.
Mhm.
It's absolutely a no brainer. So, with that in mind, tell us more about the event that you're hosting.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about that. So like like I said, my journey started 2019. So 2020 was the first time we had the Zoom. It
Hmm.
was actually right before the pandemic, and actually it wasn't even a Zoom. It was a phone conference. The first one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, those phone conference. Then the pandemic happened. Then one of my friends said, "Oh, because Zoom became popular."
Yep.
He was like, "Oh, let's make the next one Zoom." I was like, "Oh, okay." Well, I honestly didn't even know. I heard of Zoom before, but I never really used it.
Hmm.
So we figured it out. We set it up. So so since then we do every 2 weeks. We do like we bring different speakers to the
Hmm.
sessions every 2 weeks, and there were different topics. And it's always been Zoom since 2020. I think the first one was in March for the Zoom session. So it's over a year now, and that's all we did. With every meeting we had a talk to us Tuesday, which is more like a roundtable discussion. That's also on Zoom. So a lot of people have met, people have even done businesses together, people have done investments together, and there's some that have
Mm.
never met each other. So
That's so awesome.
right. So that's why you're right with the old pushing car, because people have done businesses from just meeting through African Business Club. So
Hmm.
we'll finally have our first physical conference in Atlanta, October 15 and 16. The
Hmm.
15 will be a meet and greet. So everybody will, meet, share business cards, just introduce each other for the first time. Then the 16 is a Saturday, will be the actual conference. I have amazing speakers, all expert in their field. So I'm very excited about that. We have different topics to discuss, and it's all in the goal of just the collaboration, networking, normalizing financial literacy. And part of the reason why I chose Atlanta for the first one is because it's more like a safe house, and there's a
Hmm.
lot of Black businesses there also
Yep.
that I know will be excited to join and just see what we're all about. So I'm very excited about it. It's going to be really fun. And one thing that we are doing it's like this is going to be the first one like this. It's not just a conference. We actually also it's going to be like a multicultural event. So I already said, I'm gonna have, we're gonna announce it, people to have like a touch of like their culture. Like I'll have something like this. So we'll
Yeah.
have like a native where it's not gonna be a full native, and it's not like compulsory, but
Yeah.
we want to showcase that we'll have an artist, like as an African artist is coming to perform, and then we have the food, show the culture. There's gonna be a cultural event mixed with financial literacy and the music. The DJ will be there to play some African music. So it's gonna be like a concert, but it will be also, but we also it's kind of like um mixing the medication and candy,
Yes.
like make it fun, but
It sounds like a
showing some
financial
gems.
festival.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So that's really what it is. Which interestingly, this weekend that passed, I couldn't go. I would have gone. Earn Your Leisure actually doing one, Invest
Yeah.
Fest. And to
Yeah.
be honest, I've been planning mine, and we actually put the flyers out. You can go back and check. We had the flyers out, and then when I saw that flyer, I'm like, you know what, this gives me confidence. Like, you know what, I'm up to something because
Yes.
it's almost the same concept. I'm not saying they stole my flyer. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know. But it's all the same concept. But ours will be different because this is showcasing African culture, which a lot of people are very curious
Yeah.
about. So it's gonna be very fun.
I am so excited for you. I am so excited for you.
Thank you, thank
I
you.
truly, truly am. So before we wrap up, let the people know where they can find out more about the African Business Club.
All right. So on Instagram, we're African Business Club 2020. Um, I on Instagram, we also have the website is abcfinancialcommunity.org. It
Mhm.
has all our past Zoom sessions on it. And then on YouTube, we post all our Zoom sessions that we've done. A lot of great topics, a lot of great
Yeah.
speakers on those that came on the YouTube, and that's African Business Club on YouTube, and that's where. And then we have the event coming up in October. There's a link in the bio on the Instagram page.
Mhm.
You know, if you check it right now, we have the early bird ticket, which is like very cheap, $75 right now for the next 2 weeks, I think. So hopefully people take advantage of that before we go to the full price.
So once again, say the dates one more time for me for the event
So it'll be October 15 and 16 in Atlanta.
in Atlanta.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Doyin, it's just, man, right, guys? Right? Isn't this exciting? This is just so necessary, though,
Yes.
because now y'all can hang out. Now we just go chit chat. The formal interview was done, but if you want to stay and hang out, we just go chop it up together. And you guys have any questions for Doyin, please feel free to drop them in the chat or on the Instagram chat. Any chat, we'll answer them together. There is something to be said about having something tailored to you.
Right. That's
There's
true.
something to be said about that. And here is my vision for the African Business Club. It is going to explode because you are feeling the need of many. And there are many that don't even recognize that this is a need. But
Right.
financial literacy tailored to a specific community is a need.
Right.
Period. Full
And you know
stop.
what? And what I like about it is the fact that, like you mentioned, there's a lot of Africans that are doing big things, right?
Mhm,
That are doctors making
mhm,
money, but let's make use of your money. And so it's a different thing when you teach people financial literacy and they don't even have the money,
mhm.
and now they have to also to get the money. But most
Yes,
of the people that we're tailoring to already have this money. Not all of them, but majority already having, you know, good
yes,
paying job. The money's there. It's just to know how to use the money
yeah.
and grow it. And
Mhm. No, I feel you. I feel you on that. It's not in general for the most part, and I'm speaking, I understand. See, I always have to say disclaimers because when I'm on the internet, because there's already somebody like, that's not true. I understand that the African experience is not a monolith. I do understand
right.
that.
You're
I do
right,
understand
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
However, you have to say that because if not, someone's going to be like, I don't Togo. I don't go. Okay. Shout out to Togo.
Yeah,
Love,
yeah,
love the
yeah.
Togo.
Smart people.
However, y'all would be- however, though, in general, with our community in general, I mean, that's just the African American community. Traditionally, it's not an income issue. Is
Right.
we know how to hustle.
That's true. That's
We
so
know how
true.
to get that bread. You know how we
That's
know
so
it?
true.
Because we got the nice shoes, we got the Benz,
Right.
we got that.
That's so true.
That's not the issue. The issue
Yes.
is I know how to get the money, but how do I grow the money
Yes.
without
That's so true.
hustling for the rest of our lives?
Yes.
And that
That's
hustle can look different. And what's more
right.
dangerous, that hustle can be pharmacy. That hustle could be being an anesthesiologist for the rest of your life. Nothing wrong with those things. However, if
Hmm.
that's the only thing and you want to stop working as an anesthesiologist, but you can't afford to because now your income is higher,
Hmm.
or I'm not your income, your expenses
Right, right.
are high,
Ah, yeah.
and
Hmm.
you don't have any type of passive income to cover those expenses.
Yeah.
It's not the title. It's not how you get the money, but how you grow and steward that money.
Yeah. And
That's it.
a little testimony here, right? We've started over a year and change now, and two of my friends that also part of the African Business Club, like part of the members, because like we said, it's not the income.
Mm-hmm.
They open their own pharmacy
I like
from
that.
just and every time they're doing this, and they will call me and like, you know what, this is what I'm thinking. So the money is there. They just didn't know. Now
Yeah.
they I have one in Texas, the other one's in Maryland. Open their own
Nice.
pharmacy, running smoothly, doing great. I have one of my very close friends. She's about to open her home clinic because she's an APR and used to work for CVS. And from just all this information we are teaching one another, learning, she's opened her own clinic. She's about to open also in Atlanta. So she actually told me she might try and do like a soft opening since we're coming for the conference. So that way, but she'll be ready to go this year. She's ready. And I have one of my other friends in Maryland also that just bought $1 million 10 units complex in Maryland from the real estate discussion that we had. So people are making moves already just because the income is not an issue, like you said. It's just how to grow that money. And I'm always happy when people call me and say, hey, Doyin, this one I'm thinking, this session, can you connect me with this person? I like what they said about this and this. Then I'll just connect them. And next thing, they'll call me in a month and say, oh, guess what we're doing? We are doing this. We are opening a pharmacy. We're about to close a deal on a complex. And that just makes me happy because that's what I want to hear.
Yes. And let me preface this by saying, because people get this messaging confused sometimes. And I'm sure, well, I'll speak for myself. I'm not anti-job. I'm not. I'm not anti-job.
Right.
But I am pro-investing. I am pro-options. I am pro-literacy, financial literacy. And in any way that we can position ourselves as individuals and as a community to have as many financial options as possible is important to me.
Definitely.
I'm sure that's important to you, Doyin. Like,
Oh
I think
yeah, definitely.
that's the key. That's the key.
Yep. I tell people this, like you said, I'm not anti-job. I tell people this: your job is not the enemy. If
No.
anything, your job is what you should. Your job is like a guaranteed 2 weeks pay. Guaranteed every 2 weeks you get something for that from that company. So you should use that to fund. So you do your 9 to 5 and use the 9 to 5 to fund the 5 to 9. So
I
the
like
money
that.
you're getting from that job, invest it, build your own business, and eventually have a plan. The only thing I'm against is when people, like you say, anti-job, people just say, oh, you know, I made for my company, I made this money, and while you there going to your job 9 to 5. Like we have to be careful when we say things like that because now we don't want someone just quitting their job with no plans.
Yeah.
Just because some gurus or some influencers saying, oh, look what I'm making. And the sad part of that is that influencer, that guru didn't tell the full story. Because I'm sure there was a point where they were hustling and making money from their 9 to 5 to fund this, business they just started. So that's the only thing I don't like to hear when people say that. But as long as you have a plan, that's what I really care about, having a plan.
I could not agree with you more. We have a question here in the chat, and they're asking, is there a membership to join your community?
So that's a great question.
Or membership fee. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Right.
Is there a membership fee to join your community?
That's a great question because we are working on that to have a membership fee, and the only reason for that is because like when we spoke, this thing didn't start for me as a it was just like I want to have my community. I'm starting this. I want to do it, but now it's growing, and
Yes.
now and I'm
Quickly
doing
too. Quickly.
yeah, right. And a lot of people that started with me, I call it a double-edged sword because they're helping with building together. But now, like I said, the guests open a clinic. My other friend has like a online tutoring that he started. Like now he's so busy with that. Now we don't have the time. Even me, I have so much other things I'm working on personally. So now we want to start a membership fee. And it's not like we don't know what it will look like yet, but probably like maybe $5, $10 a month, just so that way we can outsource some of the things we're doing now. So, I don't spend all my time building content on Instagram or doing other things, sending email out. But as of right now, it's an open membership. but we're actually working on to have a membership fee where we can use that membership to just maintain the club, and it
Okay.
won't be anything crazy like, no, it'll be just something very just to maintain it, to outsource some of the things we're doing.
All right. So, in other words, to the people, join now while it's free. What do you think? Join now. So how can people join?
Well, like I said, there's really no membership fee, so it's just,
Hmm.
join the community, follow us on Instagram,
Hmm.
African Business Club 2020. We have the Zoom sessions, we always post them, just join. We have a Discord app.
Okay.
That's
All
all
right.
on the, if you go on the link on the bio, we have the link tree. It
Okay.
has all that stuff there you can join. We just have conversations. We have like people connecting and collaborating with one another. And that's really all we have right now as for structure. And I know it
Mhm.
sounds bad, but it's because it didn't start as like, oh, I want to start this, let's build it. It just started as we're saying, push the car. All I did was just push the car.
Yes.
And then things are coming in place. We're kind of working backwards because
That's
now we put a
okay.
structure, but there was no much of a structure until now. We're just trying to build
That that is
it.
Diane, that is perfectly normal. Most movements and initiatives start like that. Because you were putting the feelers out there, figuring out, okay, is this possible? Will we find support? And you did, which is beautiful. But let's pause, because the one thing I want everyone to hear on this live today is that he started. I want everyone to start, because I need everyone to remember that they can add value to their community and to the world, and we need it. What
Yes.
would happen if you did not start?
Right.
Look, you just said that people have been partnering,
Oh yeah.
people have been building, people have been learning,
Within a
because
year.
within a year, because you were willing to start. And
Yeah.
that start does not need to look glamorous. That start does
Mm.
not need to be polished. That start does not need to look like 50,000 followers on IG. It means you start the page, you get the Zoom link, you start
Yep.
the conversation. And with your consistency, you built momentum. And now
Mhm.
is at the point where that ball is rolling, and now you need a little assistance to keep up with
Right.
it.
Can't
That's
handle it anymore.
that's a good problem. I like your problems.
Right.
I like your problems. Well, let me make sure people know right here. Let's put the banner down. For the beautiful people, make sure to follow the African Business Club on IG and on YouTube as well. That's how I am able to OD on all their wonderful content. So if you want to do the same, I'll make sure to put down Doyin's contact information in the description bar below. Until next time, beautiful ones, te amo. Besos. Ciao.
Thank you. Thank you so much.